What's going on, Butch Queens? Welcome to Butch Queen and Friends, a panel series where I interview folks in the community who I feel deserve more of a spotlight or I just think are interesting as fuck. Today's panel is all about femboys. We talk about gender expression, sexuality, dating, and what being a femboy actually means. So make sure you check it out, like it, subscribe to my channel, and comment what you want to see in these panels next. To start things off, I ask, what is your definition of a femboy? Let's get into it.
My name is Dereon, Dereon XO on TikTok, XO Dereon, no, XO Dereon on TikTok, Dereon XO on Instagram. I am a social media and I wouldn't say influencer, I would say social media commentator. I open a lot of, critical discussions about homosexuality, feminine expression, what it means to be a femboy, and things of that nature. I would say I harbor a lot of conversations about what is normal versus what is natural. That being, homosexuality, is homosexuality normal or is it natural, and things like that. I also am a music artist. I channel a lot of my creative expression and mental stability through my music as a way to just stay sane in this hyper masculine heteronormative world. My definition of a femboy is somebody who expresses themselves externally in some ways. And there's layers to my definition of femininity as a whole. So how I would apply it to a boy or a man also follows through with that. I would say how somebody carries their emotions, how they deal with their emotions. There's different ways to, deal with your emotions through femininity or masculinity. They associate, nurturing, caregiving, things like that as feminine approaches to, emotional states and how you prosper through the world. And my definition that I always instill in all of my content, and most of it, is the expression part of femininity, because that's what I have experienced the most through my life, and that's where the most personal experience that I've had came with being feminine and a man in a heteronormative society and hypermasculine dominated space has, brought me a lot of telling experiences. So my definition of a femboy is somebody who is fearless, somebody who breaks the norm, and somebody who gets their shit together and doesn't let anybody tell them differently.
Very good.
Yes.
Welcome. Okay,
Thank
who's
you
next?
for having me.
I go. Hey y'all. My name is Maxwell. At Maxwell Show on all platforms, so it's not hard. If it's hardy for you to find it, it's time to go back to school. Now, I I'm from Memphis. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, I'm a hood bitch at heart, and what I believe that being a femboy is a person that's androgynous, that a person that is sexy, that can be masculine and feminine at the same time, will make a motherfucker look a double take because they don't know what the fuck they give. They don't know what it is because they're like, damn, my dick is hard. What is this? And I'm saying, it's me. It's me, and you
It's
love me,
me.
and you want me. So come to me.
Hey.
we're very alluring. We're very understanding, but we're also very hardworking. We know what we want. We know about we gonna get our money. We're very fucking smart, and we know our p's and q's to each and everything that we do. That's what I think of him.
Very good. Who's next?
I can go. Hi, my name is Nova. I'm based in Boston. I'm a makeup artist, special effects artist. I used to be a lingerie model, like brand ambassador for different brands and different things. I'm also a social worker full time. I feel like, I express my femininity through just my existence. I use social media as my digital scrapbook to showcase my artistry, my fashions, when I'm feeling myself, unapologetically and authentically me as being loudly black and feminine. And so I feel like in conjunction to that, I see femboys as the epitome of like you understanding yourself, like the ins and outs of who you are, despite of what society tells you to be, and unapologetically viewing the divine feminine within you and holding it and being like, fuck you, this is who I am, as well as the masculine parts of what you are and just embracing it regardless of external opinions or validations from others, at least how I see fit. And my social medias is at Reclaim Logic on Instagram. On TikTok, I'm Nova.art92. I think that's my other Instagram page, and Nova Art92 in general.
Hello, my name is Bakuela. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Paris, France. I used to be a consultant in finance, and now I'm a stripper in LA. My definition of a femboy would be a good mixture of sweet and salty. Sweet because the feminine energy, very sweet, very attractive, and salty because you get the little kick of that masculinity.
I felt that kick. Woo.
I would say being feminine is just about like being a very bold person who own their shit and be whoever they want to be and say fuck the world. Like because I am who I am, I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, and you will either way you like it or not, I'm gonna still do it. So that's about it.
Beautiful. Welcome. And Malik, last but not least.
Yes, hi, my name is Malik. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I currently reside here right now. I am a public health educator, sexual health justice advocate, influencer. I work in sexual health. I am a model, I'm a painter, I'm an overall activist, and I am a part of a label right now called Boys Love the Radio. I have my own podcast right now called He Said Yes, where I'm sitting down with queer black and brown couples, monogamous couples, polyamorous couples, open couples, and just exploring, what it means to say yes every single day. You can follow me on Instagram at keeping it calm with Killam. Killam is my name backwards. So yes, this means
Full. Great. Thank y'all so much for doing that. Okay. Great. All right. So beautiful. Okay. So we're going to start with our questions. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
yes.
So opening question for a couple of you. What is it like? So we talked about being a femboy, right? What is it like to be a black femboy? And is that different?
Yes.
Anybody can
Yeah.
answer.
Yes. I think
Yes.
it's. Oh,
Should I go first?
Yes,
Um,
yes. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like being a black femboy is something that needs to be talked about more because, in the black community, there's a lot of hypermasculinity that is embedded into, boys growing up. So we tend to, grow up and shy away from femininity. And that, that leads to a lot of macho masculine performance, right?
Uh-huh.
But when you deny, certain parts of yourself, that affects not only, how you express yourself socially, but your mental state. And they think that having, all these buff men walking around, all this physical exterior and all that, putting work into your body is going to make you a man or make you somebody who is emotionally stable. But that's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. Because when you fall short on your mental health, you can't do anything in the physical world. So I feel what it means to
Mm.
be a black femboy or how it is being a black femboy, the existence of such is, it's a big middle finger to all of the masculine superiority that has been embedded into the growing up part of it, the childhood of a black feminine person. I know growing up, as somebody who is black and feminine, I grew up in a lot of hyper masculine spaces. I grew up on a basketball team, played it for 7 years around a lot of hyper masculinity, but I was
Oh.
always feminine. I never let it change me or define me, and I knew I was different, but that created a lot of social gaps between me and my teammates and stuff like that.
Mm.
And there's been several instances in my life where I felt that I was, excluded for things because of how I presented myself and went about things socially in contrast to, masculine men. But, now we're here.
Now we're here. Yeah.
No.
History.
Beautiful.
yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
To be a black femboy, I think right
Oh,
now,
Malik, sorry.
is to be someone that is not operating within this stigma that like self-care and hygiene is something that just makes you like gay. I work in sexual health. I'm a public health educator, sexual health justice advocate, influencer. And I've been a prevention training specialist before. I still work in sexual health. And I think like a lot of what I navigate in my work is the stigma from heterosexual black men that if well, first of all, they avoid the clinics like the plague. And I think it's just that thing of like if I'm singing near a clinic or if I'm singing in a clinic, people are gonna know my business and then people are gonna equate that to like HIV, and then people equate HIV just simply to gay people in the intersex. And obviously it's broader than that. But I think it's really important in our community. Obviously within this industry that I work in, we have a little bit more of the fem queens, the butch queens, those that are more comfortable in their feminine expression working in this space. And I think it's important for like the trade and the more masculine presenting gays as well to also understand like it's okay to wipe your ass.
it's
Right.
okay to go get tested every
Come
6 months.
on. All right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
All
it's
right.
just it's necessary if you want to talk to a person like me personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think in obviously it's broader than just the Black community, but in our community specifically, I feel like that's for me. I what it means is letting you know that it's be okay for you to take care of yourself.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful. Yeah. And then Maxwell, were you trying to go?
Yeah, I don't know what
Okay.
happened. I guess the masculinity done really kicked the fuck in and kicked me out. So,
Um,
so repeat the question one more time.
Absolutely. Look, y'all, this is supposed to be messy. Let it be messy. It's fine. So what was my question? Oh, what does it mean to be a Black femboy? Does that differ from just being a femboy?
I think being a Black femboy is really, I would say, is how can I put this? It's really a punch, a middle finger, a hard dick, and a hard pill to swallow. Because we go
Mm,
through so much bullshit when it comes to just to exist. I think
hmm
it's harder for the Black film boys to, I won't even say make it, but to, in a weird way, to get noticed, because a lot of things that the Black film boys do, we see it in the masculine community, and it's like, well, bitch, are you one of us, or you trying to replicate what the fuck is actually going on? Because at the end of the day,
mm,
I'm over here sitting pretty, titties up, pussy tight, and you're telling me that I'm too feminine just to be in this room, and you're over here wearing my lip gloss? Some ain't right in
no, I
this
think we lost
in
some.
this scenario.
Oh,
Sorry, I was saying you can't be telling me I'm too feminine and you wearing my lip gloss and also wearing thongs. Let's keep it PG.
it's
I just
okay.
think that
It's okay.
in all honesty, being a Black film boy, being a Black film boy is a very like just a hard task, not for personal but for society. And I think that as a Black film boy, we try not to think about that. We try not to get into that, but we try our best to hold on and not to progress into thinking that we're the problem and we're not.
That's right.
You know, so
Hey,
I think
yes, we are
that's
not the problem. Thank y'all for that. So, as y'all were talking, and I
is it the
promise this is the most
Wi-Fi?
I'm going to talk, but as y'all were talking, I was thinking about the definition of butch queen versus
Yes.
femboy. Because what I think is how I define butch queen is how y'all are defining femboy slightly. But that's not how society is defining butch queen right now. When I was coming up, butch queens were either super feminine, super masculine in the middle. Like there was a spectrum of masculinity, femininity, but it was never masculine first as a butch queen. I
Mhm.
think it is that now. I think it has evolved to that. And I think that's why it's important to have terms like femboy, which put the feminine first, right? Like that
right.
is very exciting. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all defining that, and it just made me
Of
think about
course.
Butch Queen a lot. All right, so what has the world taught you about femininity in men, and how did you unlearn it? For anybody,
Mm.
actually,
I guess
Nova. Yeah, go ahead. I'll start with you.
Okay.
okay.
Um,
Um, like,
you can go.
so I think it's all good. I think for me, I've learned it's funny because it's like femininity. You said when did I learn femininity in men in society and has it impacted me?
Yeah,
In other words, uh,
yeah. What has the world
it's
taught you about it? How did you unlearn that, if you have?
yeah, no, most definitely. Like growing up, I feel like I grew up, in a traditionally, I guess, Black Caribbean household where a lot of the machismo energy and like conventions of what it means to be a man was always like instilled in me. You have to do this, you have to perform masculinity in this way in order to be socially acceptable. Even though for me, it's always been a natural inclination to just be myself, and being myself meant if I'm gonna put my hand like this, it's just natural. If I'm gonna talk a certain way, it's just natural. It's just
Yeah,
inflections of what I do as far as me as a person being injected into society.
yeah.
And a lot of those things I've had to unlearn and really condition myself once I was dealt with the experience of like not having a positive coming out experience. And so
Mm,
from there, like living on my own and making it through and finding community in my own way allowed me more and more to be like, well, I don't know why I'm carrying all these expectations of what my family wants, of what other niggas want, of what guys that I'm trying to pursue, or people that are trying to see me as like desirable, mean, or matter to me. Like I should just live myself and my truth. And
Yeah.
so from there, and also I will say as well, giving everybody like their flowers as far as the women in my life and the trans women in my life, because through them, I was also able to fully get a grasp and grasp of what it means to be feminine, but in a way
Yeah.
that feels empowering and
Yes.
powerful as a tool to help other people, but also to show, especially within the Black community, like I'm not here to shun away or like go into hiding. Like you will see me and I will be still an integral part of my community, whether I'm doing social work or whether I'm at the club or nightlife scene or whether I'm like working in like preventative services like I was before. Like because visibility and representation matters, especially in this political climate and era where
Absolutely.
they just want everybody that is even remotely feminine being shut out and shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. And then Darian, you wanted to speak.
Yes. Growing up, I feel the world has told me that femininity was something, well, in men specifically or boys, is something that should be shunned, looked down upon. It's looked at as an anomaly, a weakness, something that is less than. And I had to unlearn that through my personal experience. I feel like I unlearned it like unintentionally because
Mm-hmm.
I never let the external things around me define how I did things in the world or how I moved in the world. I kind of just like adapted to it in certain ways, but I would still stay true to me. I've always been hard headed since I was young. I've always been defiant. I've always been like, I've been a
I can see
walking
that.
social debate since I was young. So I never let things around me define. I was like, oh, y'all think that what I'm doing naturally is something that is weak? I don't think that makes sense. So I
Mm.
never let it define me. I never let it change me. I just knew that it was people being ignorant. I knew it was ignorance from young. And I just unlearned it from personal experience. I've unlearned it from educating myself, getting older, seeing things and putting two and two together. And I realized that it's not rooted in any truth. The whole idea
Mm.
that femininity is something that is a weakness in men is just a social perception. That's not
Someone made
something
that
that
up.
defines what it means to be feminine or a man.
Yeah.
So people can't possibly be serious when they say that, oh, that's a weakness. That's something that men shouldn't do. Because at the end of the day, we see that men have the highest suicide rate, and it's because they have all this hyper masculinity and they're not balancing out their feminine side. Because if a man is too masculine or too feminine, he will fail, period. You need to balance both of them out in certain aspects of your life where it is healthy, because when you don't do
Mhm.
that, you would see a decline within yourself. And I realized that when I went through it in my, I'm gonna say, middle school. I fell into this, mindset that I had to be a certain version of myself to fit in. And I
Mm.
realized that that was taking a toll on my mental health, and I just was not being true to me.
Yeah.
And through that, I kind of went through a depressive state. I want to say undiagnosed, but it was very dark. And
Yeah.
I've never been through that ever again, because I learned that denying any side of you, no matter what it is, will lead
Mm-hmm.
to internal doom. So, yes, that is how I unlearned the false perceptions of femininity that society has projected onto
Yes.
Yes.
me and others.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of
Very good.
course.
Bakuela.
I think the moment I've learned that being feminine was not an issue is when, when you're little, you do a little bit everything to please your parents. So I was doing good at school, I was doing good at the gym, like I had like good score, no issue. And my mom was never happy with what I was because of my femininity. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Why are you not like your cousin?" And I was like, "Which cousin? The one who is in jail? The one who has a baby? The one who's broke?" Like,
Which
That
one? Pick one.
like pick one, because right now you try to compare with these men who are obviously flopping with me, who is like I'm doing good at school. I'm in a top 10 business school in France. So like, what do you mean be more like them? You mean be more masculine? She's like, yeah, be a real boy. I'm like, if this is real, being a real boy, I'd rather not be a boy at all, because like
Mm.
they're
Exactly.
cowards. They don't. They lie. They cheat. They do this. They do that. I'm like, this is love. Like, if this is masculine to you, you can keep it. I don't want it. Double it and give it to the next person. I don't want it. And I
Yeah.
told my mom, like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
the second you try to compare me with someone who is not comparable to me on every level, do not compare to them to me. And also, being a real man is own who you are. Being honest to yourself. Being a
Mm-hmm.
leader. I mean, women can be leaders too, but like I feel like the way the president like Max is like being a leader. Those men are not leaders. To me, they don't lead
Mm.
anything. They just lead like depth and like nothing that I'm appealed to.
That's right.
Being just like not themselves is nothing that I feel like it's like a leadership type of behavior. So
Yeah.
the second my mom would start to compare me being feminine but over the top of them, and them being on the lower level of me. I'm not saying that there's level, but like you see what I mean. And just masculine, they were allowed to be on my level. I'm like, oh hell no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
man these moms to me, please.
Yes. I love that you said, "Who do you want me to be? Them? Like
Like,
Yeah.
that?
no,
That's what you
I
want?
don't want to be them.
I'm eating it." And you want me to be that? Like, girl, like you would want me to be feminine if that's what masculinity is giving. Like, you would
Okay.
want that,
Like
right?
my mom
Like,
sometimes she would like want me to be my cousin who went to jail for dealing drugs, have a baby that he's not even aware of. And I'm like, you want me to be him just because he's masculine? Just because you want me to be masculine? Who gives a fuck?
a mess.
Right.
Does he have
A
free?
mess.
Does he have safety?
But no shade. I think they would prefer that we had like 12 baby mamas and was in prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, honestly,
Sometimes. Sometimes. Yes.
it's so weird.
like before my mom came to terms with my sexuality just a year ago, like she was just I remember one of the first things that she told me was like I have a nephew, one of my cousins that was in jail, like in and out of prison for like over 2 decades, and then my brother that has a mugshot, and then she's like, I have you, and I'm like, what about me is so different? If I'm the first one to have a master's degree or to do all these things and not literally get corrupted by like peer pressure or social influence,
Mm-hmm.
rather I'm just doing me. And it's also like as you said to your guys' point, like we were all, for the most part, from what it sounds like, conditioned and in specific environments where we were just told, you have to, this is what a man looks like and this is how you should be. But we still end up choosing our own individual paths that led to this and being comfortable in within our femininity and showing strength within it. And so that's why I'm like, I would implore my mom, I'm like, think about the things that make you a strong woman. And why is it so bad that I feel influenced by what you do versus what my dad does, my brother does, or my uncle, or any other male figure that I don't really aspire to be like?
Yeah.
Love that. I love that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So speaking of influence, who influenced y'all? Who was there a femboy that you looked up to? Was there a woman, a trans woman that, helped shape your experiences or that you aspired to be like?
In this world where I have to fight every single day, the folks, the women, the divine feminine energy that inspired me was all of the badass women players in the video games that I played when I was 8 years old.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. Very good. Anyone specific?
I would say,
Well, I'm a Marvel fan. I'm a
Yeah.
Marvel fan, so of course, like I had like all the X-Men games. So Storm, of course. Yeah.
Boots. Boots.
Yeah.
Boots. Okay. And then Maxwell, you had something to say?
yeah, I would say, when I was growing up, it was Adam Lambert, and then it was the women because I'm the only child, so my fascination with like the dark side of femininity was my thing. So I really loved Holly Berry, Catwoman, and Akasha from the Queen of the Dam. Like those was
Boots.
my those was my inspirations of being who I am today.
So I would say when I started growing up, it was my mom because my mom's a very strong, independent woman. But I also have a hate and love relationship with my mom, so that's a bit confusing. Another femboy that inspired my aesthetic and the way I present myself, like being feminine but also muscular, Bretman Ross. Really had a
Yes.
Yeah.
huge impact on me.
Love him.
Absolutely.
Like the way he present himself is just beautiful because he can also like have long hair, being very feminine, and also have this muscular body. And since that day, Bretman Rock is one of my sources of inspiration because I feel like also he's not really a problematic influencer. He lived on his own way. He doesn't have to be in LA to be one of those
Yeah.
who moved to LA. It's like he's like, I have my house, I have my dog, my animal, my fruits, looking pretty, looking tea. I don't have to have all this extra noise. And I just love that from him. And also, he's always keeping real, and he's very funny and entertaining.
Yeah. Truly an inspiration.
And
Yeah.
inspiration since I would say 2013. 17 when he was still like
Okay.
a twink femboy Asian, like little skinny Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But like I saw him evolve, and we're about the same age, and the way he evolved, I evolved the same way as him. I would say, yeah.
That's right.
For me, I've always, well, I grew up watching like the Addams Family and everything else. I'm pretty gothic, and I love horror movies and things. Like in my mind, still to this day, I'd be feeling like whenever I wear something cunty or like I come out and pull out in a look or do my makeup, I'm thinking I'm Morticia Adams in my head. Just because like her,
I can see that.
she's a housewife and she's like naturally like sensual and seductive, but she's like she got a man and people want her, but she's just like I'm married. I do my own shit. Look at my weird children.
Right.
So that's me.
That's great. That's great.
I feel for me, growing up, I definitely looked up to my mother. She was very feminine, very bold with her femininity, and a very powerful, strong woman as well. But what really made me stamp the fact that I am going to be feminine in this world and I can do it and see success through it is Rihanna, because she brought a different perspective to it. Because not only was she like dangerously feminine and just gorgeous, she was a businesswoman, and I'm somebody who's always been business orientated since young. So her adding that lens of like femininity and then like dominating in such a male masculine dominated space such as business gave me the green light to do it as well, and that's what I'm working to build. So,
yeah, what a great example. So again, I don't necessarily identify as a femboy, but when I was in high school, there was this boy 2 grades above me. His name was Victor. Hi, Victor. If you're watching this, you're not. 2 grades above me, named Victor, and he was just gay, so gay. And I was like in the closet, like really just trying to be as masculine as possible to avoid any ridicule. But Victor would cut class, go to the bus stop, pull out one of those Cruella de Vil like smoking sticks, and he would smoke. And I would watch him from the window, like, I wanna smoke with him. Like I wanted to smoke cigarettes with him so bad. So this is the early 2000s. I am a lot older than y'all. Like smoking was okay back then. I mean, it shouldn't have been, but it was.
it was cool.
It was cool.
Yes.
It was cool. Oh, Dereon, you keep saying when I was young. I'm like, wait, how old are you? Are you 18?
Okay, I'm 18 years old, but I'm a very old soul. Okay.
When I was young, were you 2 years old? Probably 2 years old.
But
Great.
I would say that I would say
Maxwell.
this really quickly, just from that story that you said alone. Just from that story that you said alone, I feel like with all the femboys that's in this panel right now, that we have inspired other gay people to be extra and to be gay and to tap into their femininity, because there have been stories that I have that I didn't even know that I outed somebody and they was actually happy that I did that, and I was just like, oh bitch, I thought you was gay too, so I didn't even know, and they'll say, that they like the fact
Whoops.
that they like the fact that they like the fact that film boys, that the femininity in me allowed them to be feminine and to be okay with themselves. And I feel like that with film boys, we all are that paper trail of, hey bitch, you coming over here, or you just gonna still be with the bullshit over there? Because I ain't got time for the bullshit. I'm finna go over here. I'm finna go give it to it with Trey real quick, and I'm finna come back and do my class.
Okay.
That's real. That's real. No,
That's it.
that's actually really real. I resonate with that simply because like when I first
Mhm.
came on the scene, actually making more like Butch Queen friends, a lot of them were a lot more incognito. We've all had that phase where we had to survive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to school in Missouri for 5 years. I'm from here in Los Angeles, but I'm the only child as well. So when I went out there to Missouri and I was out there, like came into myself and I was away from like family and all of that. So I was just discovering more of myself and getting okay with it and feeling more safe. So when I came back out here, whereas I'm with friends that were like learning to be more comfortable with their femininity, I'm like, girl, do you want some lip gloss or not? Like, what are you talking about? And then as time went on, it was like I started noticing, like, oh, like they're getting more softer and more comfortable with their versions of their femininity because it doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to, reflect what mine is, but Your femininity, your divine femininity is true to yourself. And that's going to look in a multitude of iterations of that. But it's yours, essentially.
That's
You
right.
have to do
Mhm.
that for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so many, it seems like from what y'all are saying, there's so many definitions under that, right? There's not one
Yes.
way to be feminine. There's not one way to be a femboy, right? It comes in a spectrum as we're looking at right here. Y'all are all very different, right? But
Yeah.
kind of living
Yes.
under the same umbrella, which is a really beautiful thing. So you've some of you have brought it up already, but tell me how being a femboy affects your family life.
Um, I would say because I just talked to my auntie about this, so it's like right on the motherfucking nail. Um, I think with me it started off kind of rough because like my grandma, me and her towards when I started being myself, like truly myself at the age of I don't fucking know 13, and I just didn't give a fuck no more. I was
Mm.
wearing blue contacts, I was wearing tight ass jeans. I was a Jonas brother, baby. I didn't give a fuck, and once people started seeing that, once people started seeing that, they started to like, what's going on? What did somebody do? It's always did somebody do something to him? And it's like, no, bitch, I'm just being my fucking
Mm.
self. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once they started feeling that, they was like, okay, well, let's get them in sports. And it's like, bitch, that ain't gonna do nothing. Just gonna make me suck more dick. I mean, I don't understand. And it's just
Oh my god.
like
No,
it's
literally
not.
though.
So
Literally.
it became like a roller coaster. Like people didn't know which way I was gonna go. I didn't give a fuck how I was saying things. I didn't give a fuck how I was looking. Like I gave a fuck that I was my alter ego today and I'm gonna be it tomorrow.
Mm.
And now they
Mm.
fully respect me because of the simple fact is that I do what I say I'm gonna do. I graduated college. I got my degree, my bachelor's degree, and I moved out here, saved my money, moved out here in LA, trying to live my dream. So with my
Yeah.
family, they have no fucking choice but to respect me because I respect y'all for doing this shit behind closed doors. What I'm doing happen to be outside of the door because I'm not in the fucking closet.
Ha. Ha. Ha.
Yes.
I love that. Very good.
I love that.
Who else?
Yes.
How? Go ahead.
So for me, I wouldn't say femininity or being feminine has affected my family aspects because thank God I have such a welcoming, warm-hearted, and open-minded family. They're really not judgmental at all, and I'm not really a judgmental person, so I carry that value of myself through everywhere in my social interactions. But yeah, I wouldn't really say that me being feminine has affected my, family dynamics at all. So shout
And
out to my
that
family.
shout out to your family, and that's great because I think there's a misconception in Black communities that our parents are gonna be furious every single
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and that's not
Mm.
always the case. I'm also very very fortunate to have parents that accepted me for who I was,
Yeah.
never made fun of me, never said anything like that. So it is possible, not always, but it is
Yeah.
possible.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Cool. Bakuela.
Unfortunately for me, my mom, I'm not in like bad term with my mom, but her reaction on a daily basis about my femininity and the way I present myself built some sort of resentments
Mm.
part. So I would not say I don't talk to my mom. It's just like I have a hard time talking to her without being irritated really fast because all this year getting all those remarks, those small like pics every time. I didn't speak about it for a long time, and now that I'm grown, I've graduated from my master degrees, my bachelor. I came here, moved by myself, got my green card by myself. Nobody helped me in here. I got my car and everything by myself. So now having her to have a say on my life is very touchy for me. If she has something to say about my life, I would like just like hang up the phone because I'm like, you cannot tell me anything because I
Yeah.
did this on my own and you don't have nothing to say because even
Exactly.
though you criticize it for my looks, my appearance, I still made it through here and I'm very much stable. So the fact that my mom is like against this femininity and she rather me to be a bum and masculine is just a bit tough for me and touchy for me. That's why I don't really like share too much about my life to my mom.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for sharing what you did share. And I think a lot of people will relate to just that, right? It's not always the easiest.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Nova, did you want to go?
Uh, sure. I was gonna say
Thank you.
for me, um, it's been a long journey because like when I first tried coming out, I was like probably like 13, and my mom had like an explosive reaction where she was like, "Oh, looking at the ceiling, like God, strike me now, why me?" like type of thing. And it's just like it's very comical. Like whenever I think and reflect about it, because I'm like, I literally told her to her face, I'm like, "Girl, you're being so dramatic. Like, what's gonna happen?"
Yeah.
And then I end up like, it's like those nuances where in the black and brown community, like we're always like projected of what is tradition versus like what is actual Christian ideology that's being embedded into them to think that this is actual really reality instead of like the core message about it, which is just love. Because I ended up having to tell her multiple times, even before we ended up actually going to therapy and resolving a lot of those issues, was like telling her like if this is what your God is telling you that is correct, it's not the same God that you taught me to believe in that I was raised with, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
you as my mom as much
Yeah.
as you're hurting me. And I told her, I'm like, I'm still gonna do me and like live my life and my happiness, because otherwise, what would you prefer if I was to like be another statistic as far as like resorting to different things or
Yeah.
running away or like harming myself in some capacity?
Yeah.
But nowadays, like they love me. I have the support of all my family, especially I feel like it's because I lived in New York. I lived specifically in Brooklyn to relate to you. I was living in Brooklyn for 2.5 years, and I made it out on my own, saved up money on my own, didn't ask for help or nothing. And as y'all know, LA and New York prices, it's astronomical. And if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And so the fact that they were able to see and constantly see different shit happening, as we know, turning in the news, it's like a bunch of different shit. They were able to respect me more as the man and know that, like, even though I come outside proudly as, like, super femme, super gay, like, that I still am able to acclimate and, like, do me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, how does being a femboy affect career, if at all?
Depends.
To speak to that,
Go ahead.
yes, I can speak to that. I think um, I'll speak to my industry. The sexual health industry is very overpopulated with seasoned black, more masculine presenting men. And there is a stigma that femininity in the workspace is a distraction and it's also like a performance and it's not going to lead to productivity. And when we're talking about like my industry specifically, sexual health advocates, social justice advocates, when we're looking at the rallies, when we're looking at the marches, all you got to do is look at the front lines. Who are there?
Hmm.
The
Wow.
women, the femme
Yeah.
queens, the trans
Right.
individuals.
Yeah.
So it's a stigma, and that's just it. Stigmas are something that you can believe, or you can do your own research. Not be so comfortable in the patriarchy and decide to meet people for yourself, have your own experience of all of that. I've experienced many interviews where I knew that I would get to a second interview, so I'm gonna more than likely speak to the director now, who's more of a seasoned butch queen, more masculine gay. So I'm like, okay, well let me not give this. Let me give, I'm a shapeshifter in that way, especially with fashion, because I'm into fashion. So let me give something a little bit more butch.
Yeah.
And I do pray that one day when I am applying to certain positions, I can go in somewhere just like this, maybe with a cute little blouse under, so they don't see my chest. And it's not going to give like, oh, he's not going to take this serious, or he's going to want to be the drama, or he's going to want to be Miranda from Devil Wears Prada. He's going to want to be the mean girl, and the work isn't really going to get done. Some of the most influential people who are in the workforce that I've seen are women. You know what I'm saying? Like they do it if they're pregnant. They're doing it even if they're on their menstrual. Like they get the job done, and that's always been inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, what's my excuse for it? So that's been
Yeah.
my.
Thank you.
I have a background of consulting and finance, and back in France, I was hired by this company as a consultant. I thought they were like, oh, we're so open. We love having like different type of profile and different genders, people from the LGBT community. I was like, that's cool. But then when I start to come to work as I'm truly am, as they said they would like accept me, it was like, oh, it's nice, but tone it down. You know, like you. First of all, you're black, so that's already a lot. You're gay,
Yeah.
and you want to be feminine on top. Out. Lower the
Yeah.
volume, like keep it down, keep it cute, and that's why I knew like, corporate job is not for me. And switching from corporate job to stripping at the club, which is a real 360 to be honest,
Yeah.
it's very interesting because even in the gay community, being feminine, even though it's more accepted, can still be a disadvantageous for you at the club. Because I
Yeah.
work in different venue, and I have one specific venue I have in mind where it's mainly promoting straight boys, Latino boys, and I work there, and I'm black and I'm feminine. So my niche is my scene is more niche, is more restricted. Thank God I still
Yeah.
make money because I have to have other skills. But the fact that I have to do jumping jacks, split, pole dance, do the tricks to make as much money as them who are just doing 1 2 step is a bit.
Baby.
Hmm.
Yes, it is not to cut you off, but you are so right in that you can get a masculine, muscular boy, put him up there, he will move side to side all night and make all the money.
Get all the
And
tips.
then and when I see in LA what like Pole Masters Playhouse, which we have in LA, has lots of feminine like femboys and trans women that are stripping and they are flipping, dipping, jumping
Yeah.
off shit. You know what I'm saying? Like backflipping. They're doing so much to make that same amount of money, and sometimes
Hmm.
not even as much money as the guy just moving back and forth.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
because there
And
was
yeah,
one
that's
time there was an example. I was doing pole dance, doing my stuff, doing my tricks that I've trained for the entire week. That person was looking at me and was like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're amazing. Give me 100 pesos, not even dollars, pesos." And there's a straight man next to me looking at him down, not even dancing, not even moving, just wiggling his dick. He gave him $20. I was like, "Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, what are we
wild.
doing?
okay."
What are we doing? And it's literal value, right? This is value we're
Yeah.
Hmm.
placing on this
And the
shit.
fact that he
And
didn't
and
even
that's
give me
wrong.
like dollars, but give me pesos. Not even
Yeah.
currency that is in the country we're in.
He
I was
he wanted you to go down to the station and exchange your tips?
yeah, basically
What world are we living in?
that was
It's wild.
I would say for me personally, it affected me in the way of by other femboys. And the reason why I say this is because there's a lot of other femboys that look at other femboys as competition. And I don't understand why. And we could be in this nature of sisterhood, brotherhood, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I remember I was working at Nordstrom and there was another femboy that didn't like the fact that I did a better job than him. And when it came to makeup and all this other stuff, I was getting clients. Baby, I was making my money. I'm not here to make friends with your ass. I'm here to make this coin. And the
Yeah.
fact is that
Exactly.
you got pissy in the pants, golden showered yourself to thinking that you had to go to my damn manager and say what you had to say because you was upset that I didn't teach you about color theory. Boo bye. I was just like, that's crazy. It aff- it aff- it affected it in such a crazy way because I'm thinking that me being in LA, there's so many feminine boys here that this will be like a run the world, Beyonce type shit. Like we're gonna be in this shit, we're gonna make this money, So it's like it works for my career because when I do it solo, I can do it solo. When I see somebody else that need help, I am that film boy that's gonna help you. You get what I'm saying? I'm that
Yeah.
film boy that's gonna stick beside you and say, "Bitch, let me show you the ropes before these motherfuckers take your money and use you as a purse." I feel like a lot of jobs they
Yeah.
use film boys as a purse and as a poster boy. Like, oh, my
Hmm.
guy, come get makeup by me. I'm gay. I'm a boy. Hello. No, bitch. If I'm gonna make this money, I'm gonna make it
Uh,
my way or the highway.
Absolutely. And I think the competition aspect is real, right? And while I don't condone it, I can understand it because sometimes we feel when we're so unique, we feel like there is one spot for that uniqueness, right? There is one spot. There's one spot for a black femboy, and I gotta take it. But it's giving no, like we can make 2 spots, we can make 10 spots. Let's help each other to create those spots and make sure that space is open for everyone, right?
Hmm.
Very good. Okay, big question. How does being a femboy affect your dating life?
Shit.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
Dereon.
as somebody who is an extreme romantic who has like broad standards when it comes to romance and dating and things of that nature, I can definitely say being feminine has granted me the wrong side of the coin with that. I feel that I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm worth it. I know my value. I know my capabilities, and I know damn fucking for sure that I'm not ugly. But I feel that the fact that I am feminine and I express myself as such, it has created so many obstacles in my dating life because a lot of the time, mask for mask, masculine partner with another masculine partner, that's something that's so widely accepted, not only in society, but within the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
So, with that, I've only attracted men who just want me for a good time, and I am a good time gal. But we can have good times, plural, right? And then there's gonna be more that comes after that. I like building real connections with people. It's never gonna be a fucking dip. It's going to be a, everyday thing. It's gonna be a daily thing. We're gonna actually build these connections. And I feel that a lot of the time it's very rare to see, especially my type, because I'm into, no shade, contrary to popular belief, but I am attracted to feminine men as well. Femboys even.
I would love to talk about that, yes.
masculine men. Yes, I'm attracted to a lot of things. I don't really have like any fixed types. But yeah, I find it that a lot of the time we put masculinity on a pedestal and don't look, through other options. And everybody has their own preferences. But I just feel being a feminine man and dating as somebody who is a feminine man, especially a Black one, it creates a lot of obstacles. Sadly.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. And thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Can I go next?
Somebody else. Yes, Bakuela.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'll be very I will try to be very conceited. So, I agree with Dereon. Is that how you say it?
Dereon, yes.
Dereon said,
Yeah.
mask for mask. There's something about mask for mask that kind of pisses me off because, like, I understand preferences, but I also understand requirements. Like, people say it's a preference. It's not a preference. It's a requirement. I prefer uncut dick, but I will still suck a cut dick. That's a preference.
Yes.
Requirement is like, you need to be uncut. Get that ass cut dick off my face. This is how, like, mass acting. I'm like, you can have preference, but you don't need to, like, yell them at everybody's face. Preference,
literally.
Like, if you don't fuck with me, it's cool. Like, there's other people who fuck with me too.
Just
like,
be quiet about it.
Like, you don't you don't need to write on your profile grinder, no fat, no fam, no this. We don't care. Honestly,
right.
Answer, or you just block me, I'll get the memo. Like, no shade. And speaking of dating, I tend to attract a lot of pansexual, bisexual, gynosexual, and I think the word gynosexual needs to be more spread out because a lot of straight men are actually.
Can you explain that?
A gynosexual is someone who's attracted to feminine energy in general, regardless of their gender or their private part. So they could be, for example, someone who's gynosexual will be attracted to feminine energy. So women, trans women, femboy, and all people who define themselves as who have a feminine energy, so they can have sex with all those people. I think gynosexual men are bisexual men with tendencies of gynosexual, and then you have bisexual people with tendencies of androsexual, which is the opposite, with just masculine energy. And I feel like I'm so confused when they're attracted to femboy or to trans women or to like whatever is feminine. I'm like, you're not necessarily gay. You're just like fluid and like bisexual with gynosexual and tendencies. So like this is really interesting. And personally for me, I have sex with like everyone. I don't discriminate. You can be whatever you want. It's just like if we're about to have fun, you better do the gay stuff that you're not supposed to do. So you better suck my dick, eat my ass, kiss me. Because if you don't do that shit, like go see a person with a vagina because I have a penis. So you better
right.
No shame. Like
respect my privates.
Like because I will do that too. Like I will suck your dick, I will eat your ass, but like I'm a bottom, so I will not top. But I will do the rest.
Okay. Period.
You're right. It's
not crazy.
It's not because I'm feminine that I don't want you to play with my dick. Let's make it clear. And most of straight men or like gynos or whatever type of men who are not gay, and so I don't suck dick, that's gay. Then go see a
well, treat it like a clique, nigga.
Yeah.
Right. My God. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
But like it's still a clique, no shade. So yeah. And honestly, what's really interesting is like I used to think that being feminine and being black was a curse. I would be like, oh no, I would never find love.
Mm,
I realized I
mm.
am. People don't have like they don't see really color. They just see what they're into. Like,
Correct.
I mean, some people do see colors, no shade to white people, but like that's another topic. But like for me, being feminine, I get a lot of occasion if I want to have fun or if I want to build a relationship. Like I used to be very much like, oh, I can't really. But also, I was in France, but now in LA, if you're feminine, please try LA. Try LA. LA for the femme people
Yeah.
is really really good. Dating wise, sex wise, career wise.
I beg to differ.
Uh, so wait, okay, very good. So Malik, hold 1 second because I think Maxwell wants to defer with this. You also live in LA. How is your experience different?
Baby, the cock, the dick, the penis is non-existent. And I'm
Mm,
gonna tell you why. Because number one, I'm a 6'3" black nigga. Okay. I work out in the gym, so when a motherfucker see me, they'll think it was a gorilla walking there. Not a racist comment, but in a weird way. Memphis term, we call it gorillas. Like you walk up to me, you a big ass man, you a gorilla. So the thing is, I'm country built, big ass, big lips, very feminine in the face, but nigga all way around. It's just more of the fact is that when I talk to guys and they say they into femininity, even black guys, I talk to them and we are talking everything, and I consider myself as feminine and dom at the same time. I'm dom feminine, so I know what I want. I'm a
mm,
Yes.
go getter. Don't play no games. It's like if it was a dom man, but I just wear makeup. But
yeah.
in this case scenario, a lot of times I will talk to a guy, we'll be interested, we'll probably fuck or something like that, and then I'm like, hey, we should do this, we should do that. That'd be all game. But after a while, it disappeared. And I asked why. I'm not really into like,
Mm,
that type of feminine guy. And I'm like, what feminine guy are you into? They won't tell me. I saw one dude that I had messed with in West Hollywood in WeHo with a whole nother film guy, but not my skin tone. And it
mm.
shows that a lot of people expect black men to be hyper masculine, or if you have a feminine, you need to be a butch queen. If you're trying to be
Mhm.
feminine, do you need to be trying to be a transsexual? Ain't
Mhm.
none wrong with my girls, with my trans girls. Love them,
Mm-mm.
protect trans rights. But baby, I'm not trying
Correct.
to convert myself into something that you can be comfortable with. I don't give a fuck what you're comfortable
Yes.
with. Bitch, if you gay and you say that you
Yes.
like femininity, you should like what I'm presenting to you. You don't have to like me
That's right.
necessarily, but you just told me what you liked and what you wanted. So with me dealing with dudes out in LA, it's a very like slim to none. It's always the dudes that's visiting or that's not from LA that want to talk to me because I remind them of
Mm.
the home, or I remind them of something that they feel that is real. Like they're like, oh well, you actually da 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 da. Da. So that's what I say when I say I beg to differ because with can you repeat your name again?
Me?
Uh, no, the it's Baku
Bakuela.
Bakuela. With Bakuela, I'm gonna give you another scenario. With Bakuela, you see how Bakuela physique is, right? Strong, beautiful in the face, beautiful hair, everything. That is a super dumb masculine nigga dreams if he was gay and he loved femininity.
Mm.
When it comes to a country
Mm.
built boy like me, that's alternative, that's like grunge and shit. It's like, and I'm tall as shit. They like, you need to put on a suit, and it's like, what the fuck?
Mm.
I've been put
Yeah.
on a damn suit,
So
nigga.
so you're saying like size and body type plays a role in attraction and desire, especially like as a black person.
Yes, because I feel like
Yeah.
if you look too ready to go, you should be in the massing category. If you look petite,
Mm.
small, and nice and cute and dainty, and you wearing this and you wearing that, it's a whole nother thing. They're like, oh well, I feel like that you're more of like a feminine toy than actually
Got
you
it.
want to be with that person. You get what I'm saying? Because I see a lot
Mm.
of fanboys
Yes.
that's even working at my job. I see a lot of those, and it's like they run through niggas back to back, back to back, back to back. Because I feel like a lot of people still have this thing of the sexuality of the femininity, but you can also please me with how you look. Bitch, what about my personality? What about my mind? Don't treat homeboy over here that's not me like that, and don't switch around and try to get with me because this one won't get you. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And no offense to
Thank you.
anybody that category the stuff that I say. It's just like that was just what I experienced.
Can I?
Yeah, yeah. I think everyone's experience is valid. Yes, Bakuela.
Yeah, I do agree with what he said. Like, there's still a lot of like body phobia. I don't know how you say it in English. You know, when you don't date a certain type of body because like it's not in the standard.
Hmm.
When there's some people, there's a lot
Yeah.
of people who are into
Like
like
the Fast No Films.
yes, like
Hmm.
I got lucky with my genetics and because I'm a dancer, so I got lucky. But there's a lot of people who are like are as feminine and as pretty as me as you, Maxwell, and it's still like struggle because there's still like this stigma about like different body type and like oh you do this for that, you do this to be feminine. There's no like measurement to be feminine. I can be seven, you can be 7 feet tall, you can be extra large, whatever, and still be feminine. There's no like you should not tell people like oh you're 7 feet, you're too tall to be feminine. It's like even though like there's a little stigma with AJ Johnson right now, people will like commenting, "Oh, you're size 12. Like you cannot be feminine." What is the link between size and being feminine? There's no like,
Yeah.
there's no correlation.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It's all a very weird construct, as y'all were saying earlier, right? All these definitions. So now I'm gonna ask y'all each a question. Please answer it however you would like, and then if someone else, one or two people, want to jump in and also answer that question or comment on it, please feel free to do so. Okay. All right. Starting with Dereon. So you mentioned growing up around masculinity. What did it cost you to be feminine in those spaces?
I feel that it costed me a normal, like, social interaction. How do I put this? It costed me the normal way that people usually socially communicate. I had to step into versions at times in certain spaces. I've learned how to code switch very early. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that's a negative thing. I'll say that's a positive thing. I've learned how to talk to different types of people and, show different sides of me and my personality and when to suppress this and when to suppress that to survive in certain spaces. And I feel that has helped me a lot. So I wouldn't say it did cost me my authenticity in times where I felt that it
Mm.
should have been shown, but also, I would say it benefited me because I learned how to code switch, and code switching is not something that's always inherently bad. It's about, your perspective and situation. So, yeah, I would say that's what
Yeah.
it costed me. Yeah.
That's really great. And just to piggyback myself, so on the authenticity piece, it's almost like, yeah, sometimes you can't be authentic to yourself, right? But it
Yeah.
also shows you exactly who that authentic person is. It
Yes.
helps you shape that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yes.
can't be this person here, but I can be this person there. Like it helps you define and shape who you actually are, even when you're hiding it, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Malik.
Yeah, I just want to say, Darian, I love that you use the language survival.
Mm.
You were
Yes.
surviving.
Yes.
You weren't hiding. The
Exactly.
code switching, I think a conversation I had with my mom, she expressed to me, I love my mom, obviously, she's learning a lot, but she did use the language of like, I don't think gay men all the time always know how it makes us feel when you all are hiding the secret. And it's
Mm.
been recently
Mhm.
that I've been able to educate her that there are survival tactics that everyone has.
Yeah.
Specifically for
Mhm.
us, though, it's not really about hiding. Like if you have like you win the lottery and you don't tell your family or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to keep the money. You don't want them asking for it and giving it out. It's not that. It's you're really trying to survive because we are in a society that is under the patriarchy, and femininity is there's a strong disdain for it. So a lot of us, we're really like chameleons and we're shape shifting and being adaptable because we're just simply trying to survive. We're not trying to like, fool anyone or
Right.
string anyone along with a lie. It's just really like we did what we had to do to not get our ass beat, to not get killed, to not get fired. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
To
Mhm.
eat.
Mhm.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Can I piggyback off of a
Okay.
little bit?
Please. Yes.
So I also like the word that you use with survival. I feel like growing up in the South, and being gay in the South and being around a whole bunch of straight people, it made me go harder to be more gay. It made me go harder to show people like you're not gonna punk me out when I'm already a punk in your eyes. You're not going to
Right.
make
Exactly.
me
Yeah.
feel more feminine when I'm
Yeah.
literally giving it all to you. You know, if I have
Yeah.
to kick it up a little bit more, I'm gonna kick it up a little bit more for you, and I'm going to ask you what you want to do about it because you can't change me from being who I am. And with me, with code switching, I feel like I never really had to do that because of the simple fact is that I think everybody that knew when I came around, I didn't give a fuck. When it came to family members, I told them, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about how you feel about me. Bitch, you can leave me alone. You can shit on yourself and piss on yourself, and I'll look at you and say, hey, look what you did. You know? So it's like it's survival in a way of my respect
Yes.
versus
Yes.
Yes.
survival for your comfortability. Because bitch, you're gonna respect me before I make you ever feel comfortable.
Mm.
Okay.
Correct.
Mm. Talk about it. Okay, very good. All right, next question is for Malik. So you said people ask if you would transition. What does that question reveal about how people misunderstand femininity?
Um, for me, well, to answer that question right away, it's people have a very narrow perspective of what femininity is. They think femininity is monolithic, so that it can only be held by someone who is a cisgender woman, or born with a female anatomy. So for me, being asked that question also lets me know that it lets me know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do in this world. I am an
Yeah.
alien. I'm an extraterrestrial. Like, I came down and I didn't like the boxes. I didn't want to
Mm.
try to fit myself in them.
Yeah.
I wanted to be me.
Yeah.
And I sit at the intersectionality of being Muslim, being black, being HIV positive, being feminine,
Mm.
and all those things for myself. It's really this experience that I'm in that I'm fortunate to be in, and I'm a God fearing man, so thanks to God for putting me in this machine. My purpose is to show individuals what this new form is like. We are
Yeah.
here. We are people in this world. We don't look one type of way. There's so many beautiful iterations of that. And to be chosen to be in this experience is not to fit in any type of box for anybody's comfortability. So that question for me just lets me know that it's another moment of me just educating.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else want to touch that one?
Yes.
Bakuela, yes.
I feel also like the fact that a lot of people, when you're feminine, they try to ask you if you're trans or they try to convince you, just shows like how. I mean, for me personally, it was more like with people I've been with sexually, they were like, you should be trans, you should do that. I'm like, are you trying to comfort yourself? Are you trying to like feel more, trying to help me to find out who I am? Or are you trying to comfort yourself? Because the fact that I'm feminine, but I still ask you to suck my dick would not change if I was trans, because I could still be a trans woman with titties and a dick. What is up with that? Are you saying that, like, so you're with a guy, right, and he wants you to be trans so he can feel straight?
Is
He
that
doesn't want me
what you're
to be
saying?
trans, but like he make those remarks, oh, you'd be so good if you were trans, you will outshine. And I'm like,
Mm.
I'm not trying to compete with anybody. And also, like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Like you already like what you see because we already fucked. Why do you want me to like,
Yeah.
have a pair of titties and like have this and that? Like, what's the real issue now? I'm a bit confused.
Yeah.
If you were into trans women, go seek a trans woman. I'm not a trans woman. I'm
Mm.
a femboy.
I would say with the topic about people, asking if a femboy is trans. I think it's sometimes I have a split one. I think sometimes it's the comfortability of like for other people to be like, well, if I've been saying she and everything, and now that this person is like feminine, wearing this and wearing that, I'm thinking like, oh, he want to be a girl, he want to be this, he want to be that because he's wearing my skirt, he's wearing nails, he's putting on makeup, he's doing this, he's doing that. I'm just confused. Like, do you want to be a girl? Because that's the only thing I was programmed to know is that's womanly things, which is okay. It's okay to ask those questions because there are some people that still are in a male form, still transitioning into a woman, and it's fine. It's okay to ask, but don't always assume when the person say, "Hey, I'm just this, I'm just that." Don't instantly quickly and say, "Oh, well, this what I think you're gonna be." No, bitch, I didn't say that. I didn't show you
Yeah.
that, and if I was that, it wouldn't be none of your concern. Number two,
Absolutely.
I think a lot of times it can be an insult because there's so many um women and men that think that femboys want to have a vagina, want to have titties, want to have this, want to have that. Oh, you doing it because that's
Yeah.
what it is. You know, we do that. We do. Congratulations, bitch. How you think I learned it? But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to, and
Yeah.
I'm just trying to enhance my beauty for how I
Yeah.
want to enhance it, and it happened to be in the same agenda as yours. But that doesn't mean I want to cut my stuff off or grow boobs. And I'm not trying to take your nigga. Your nigga was already taken when he saw me come around that corner.
Hey, I ain't try.
That part.
And for the men that wants a femboy to be trans, the only reason why is because you want to disguise the fact that that's what you deal with already. And the fact is that I'm still happen to be a guy and you're messing with me and I'm feminine, that you think that, oh damn, well, if this happened, I'm gonna say this, like we gonna get married, we're gonna do this, we're gonna live a whole different life. Baby, if you already came over here the first time and you see what I was, don't think that I'm going to change my mind or be insecure or have you manipulate me into thinking I should
Right.
do this whole process that your ass ain't paying for. You get what I'm saying? I think sometimes
Yeah.
it's manipulations and confusion, and it's like it's all right to be there, but you got to understand the person first before you start making questions or adjustments on what they like.
That's right. That's right. Very well said. Okay. Moving on to Bakuela. So you kind of spoke about this a little bit earlier, but talk a little bit more about what type of men approach you the most and what does that tell you about desire?
Honestly, I have a lot of different men approaching me. It can be a corporate guy, it could be a gym bro, it could be a hood nigga. It's very broad, and what it tells me about like people in general is like being straight is not going to be the norm. Being fluid is about to be the norm because a lot of people that I have hooked up with, because I don't know if you guys know, but like when I met David before, I was celibate for 3 years, and I was like, oh, I want to be more in my whole era. Now
Yes.
I'm in that whole era, and I would say it's very, very interesting in every country because I've went to Brazil, I went to Australia, I live in France, I live in Switzerland. Every time, there's no typical people who approach me. It's very broad. The profile are so different, and it's the spectrum is so large that I could never say like, oh, only that type of man approach me, like, because there are a lot of people who approach me. Not that I'm like that bitch, like, but like more saying like it's a very different profile. Like it could be an Indian
Yeah.
man, it could be an Asian man, it could be a white man, it could be a nerdy guy,
Yeah.
it could be a femme top, so it could be a trans woman, it could be a stud, which is
Mm-hmm.
very interesting for me because I was very shook because studs sometimes they're niggas like no shade
Boots. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
because they for it
Yes.
that
Get you a stud.
they will like they grab you like they will grab you even more masculinely than some men would grab you, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, unfortunately
Yes.
they don't have the part that I need, but if I was into it I would definitely have to
They can.
make up some studs and stuff like that. But I would say the profile is very broad. It really
Yeah.
depends. There's no specific country who are more gay because some like culture things tend to think that a sort of party of like the word is more gay. I'm like there's gay everywhere. Just some parts
Mm-hmm.
they're hidden better, but there's gay everywhere. The same amount of gay, and it's not because he's married that he has kids that he's not gay. You can
Mm.
be
Mm.
you can be a pastor, you can be whatever. Behind closed door is another person. And also, what is really interesting, as I was telling my straight friends, as femboys, we have different version of people. One of my friend, he likes trans women, but his straight friend doesn't know. But I know because one time before we met, we already talked before, and when he saw that I knew his friend, he was like, "Please don't tell anybody because like I'm not
Mm.
whatever." So a lot of femboys they have two different version of people. They have like when they're with this
Mm.
behind doors, and that's
Yeah, you know people's secrets.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I never judge
Mm.
people who are DL who are not out, like because baby, do you? As long as you don't act like a weird person or not be mean, do you? Boo? I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
if I get my nut too, because no shade, like I need. But like,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
never judge anybody, but also like people who are those type of who are DL or whatever, they tend to like act like douchebag after, and I'm like, if you don't want your secret to be exposed, don't be a douchebag. You can be cool. Like we had sex, you didn't like it, you don't want to see me again. It's cool. Like hey, I was not into it. Okay, cool, no worries. Like there's plenty of people on this earth. But
Mm-hmm.
you being like, oh no, I don't fuck with you. I'll block, and then he start to cuss at you in the street. Maybe you're getting exposed. No shade.
Yeah, I mean, when they're acting like that, they're only talking to themselves,
Yes.
right? Like, I don't fuck with you. You're saying you don't fuck with yourself.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with the act that you just did. That you're disgusted by something you just did,
Yeah.
right?
Like
Yeah.
The person in front of you had nothing to do with that shit.
yeah.
That's all on you. Like, get
Right.
your own shit together.
Mm.
You know. Very good. Okay, moving on to back to Maxwell. So, you said that femmes aren't being picked. You kind of explained that a little bit, but you talk a little bit more about what that means.
What I mean by films aren't being picked, I mean it in the way of like, how can I put this? Like in the way of like, okay, if you see me down the street and there is my masculine friend versus my feminine friend, and then there's two other guys. Now, one guy's more masculine than the other one. So, majority, the most masculine guy is going to secretly want to talk to me, but not in public.
Mm,
But
mm,
there's a masculine gay man right here, and both of them gonna talk to him because that's the image of walking down the
mm,
street and motherfucker wouldn't even know, you know. And
mm,
then it's also the thing of like the whole thing of the agenda of, well, if I wanted to date some feminine, I just date a woman. Okay, I
mm.
understand that you're attracted to men, but then I'm still a man. I just happen to
Yeah,
be feminine in my way. So when I
yeah.
mean by we're not being picked, I mean we're not being even given a chance to even be picked, even get a chance to even have a conversation, even being the chance to even become a friend to your
Mm,
ugly ass,
mm.
because of the simple fact is that your mind is so much on busting this nut that you're not realizing, my nigga. I may not really like your ass. I wasn't picking you, so you ain't got to come over here and say no fast, no feelings to me when I didn't really
Yeah,
give a shit.
yeah,
We all have
yeah.
our preferences, and we all have our people that we like and that we want to hook up with and that we want to talk to. It's okay to say, "Hey, I'm not interested," but don't be in that place where it's like now you're making every feminine man the topic of weak, not interesting. You they go back to the whole I would rather date a woman than date you. I don't need no sassy ass man and everything like that. And it's like
Mm.
you in a whole masculine relationship and both of y'all bitches acting sassy. So I don't understand what the fuck going on here. Like it's just like
Boots.
I call that a lesbian relationship, honestly, because it's what it
I'm
is.
in one.
Hey, but we love your lesbian relationship. We love it.
Thank you.
Y'all actually respect each other, so it's like it's a difference, like, and it gets hard because it's like in the gay community you should know the struggles that I go through more than a masculine gay.
Yeah.
The femme
Yeah.
gays go
Well.
through so much, and we not talking about just sex. We talking about the people that wants to beat our ass because they think that we are some fucking weird
Mm,
ass pedophiles, and we not. And then we have the
yeah.
ones that judges us just by looking at us, and then we have the other ones that feel like that we should have money and we gonna take them down because you got money, and it's like, my nigga, chill. Like you gotta chill with all it.
Yeah. That's so much
Smart.
responsibility to put on a person.
Can I add something?
Bakuela.
And I do
Yeah.
agree with what Maxwell said when they said like the femme are not being picked because the amount of time where there's a couple of two masks, almost twins, who like a third. Why? You pick each other, like stay with each other. Why you want a third who's like completely opposite of both of y'all? Like, what is the appeal? Or when a masked person who will be into feminine and like, oh, I'm never into feminine usually, but like you're the exception. Like, okay, should I applause? Like, should I like throw you flowers because you're feminine guys? Like, okay. And also, there's a big misconception. Like, I feel like a lot of guys that lack muscles, but like muscles, you can be feminine muscular, masculine muscular, non-binary muscular. It doesn't. Muscles is not a gender. It's just everybody has muscles. So when a guy's like, "Oh, I'm into you, but not into femme," I'm like, "You into muscles? You into like
Yeah.
toned body? Like that? I don't know what you're trying to say
It's
because
just it's a sexual desire.
yes, like
Yeah.
you into like the body type, this that. Like sure, but you can also like, oh, I'm not into feminine, but you're the section. Like no, you're just into like muscular body.
Can I also add to something?
Yes, please.
I was gonna say to correct me how to pronounce your name, Bakuela.
Yes.
Yes, that you had said that it's sometimes it's a case that someone wants to be like your first as almost like a social experiment. And sometimes I feel like that's how guys approach me sometimes because like they'll see me and they'll be like, "Oh, you're so beautiful, like did you model and stuff like that?" And it's like how we're talking about how Maxwell had alluded to desirability and what that looks like across different people. Like I know that usually people will approach me because I'm little, I'm 5'5" and I'm petite for my weight. But at the same time, it's like people will tell me often, "Oh, I don't typically like femininity or feminine men, but you're different. I want to make the exception for you." And then
Ugh.
oftentimes I'd be feeling weird because it's like I should just be liked for all the other aspects of who I am, not just
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Or to
Yeah.
feel like I'm your first. And I don't want to be anybody's first
I mean,
in that
it's easy to be
sense.
someone's first. It's easy
Yeah.
to be someone's first, but also like don't make you weird. Like
Right.
I don't mind being someone's first or like help someone to experience because I'm like, everyone should try what they want to like. And if I'm into you and you want to experience and you come with respect, sure, let me introduce you to gay sex. But like if you come to me like, oh, I want to do this because you did that, you my fetish. I'm like, ooh,
No. Now we got an issue.
now we
Now
have
we got an issue.
you. Do you have money? Because
Yeah.
I can make you experience.
Yeah. Now you got to pay me.
Now you have to pay for the
Now you got to
ride.
pay me.
'Cause you pay for the ride when you go to Six Flags. Now you got to pay for this ride too. No shade.
Absolutely. And then, okay, so back to Nova with our final question. How do you navigate men who desire you privately but not publicly?
Oh, great question. It's like it's an interesting parallel because it's like before I was like more sexually adventurous and being on the apps and everything and like meeting with like a broad spectrum of different types of men. But I realized it's like, oh, people only want to like how we all talked about and gathered in the conversation. People like certain qualities or traits about us, but not the entirety of what makes us us.
Mm,
And so oftentimes like even like with the prospects of dating, like I've been single for 8 years. So when I'm getting to know someone and talking to them, I tell them straight out the bat, like this is what my Instagram looks like. Look at everything. If you have
yeah,
any
get
questions,
into
let
it.
me know right off rip because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want
Yeah,
my time to be wasted. Especially if
absolutely.
you look at me now and you're absorbing me as like, well, I have no makeup on, but I have skincare and it's like you like me what you see right now, but you might not like all the other things about me. So it feels like it's very contingent on the person. It can be very difficult depending on you know the environment, the space, and even like online. Like I'm very vocal in public online as I am in public. So it's like people just are not entirely as ready as they say they are when it comes to their desire towards us as
Got
far
it.
as like actually being attracted or wanting us.
Very good. Malik, yes.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. I was gagged when I realized, like, even within our community, there are DL men. Like DL in terms of like if you are attracted to a feminine person, but you don't want, your Butch Queen counterparts to know that. But I always say, like, when it comes to femininity in our community, the more masculine presenting, like, they'll want to fuck you, but they don't want to take you home to their mother. And obviously, in the black community, it's more digestible for, let's say, like, in the lesbian community, a stud to show up to the cookout in full, butch, masculine presentation versus if someone brings they're gay and they bring their partner there and their partner happens to have a skirt on. Then it becomes like, wait, there's children here, and what are we doing? And that's inappropriate and all of that. But
Mm,
again, this is evidence again that under the patriarchy, masculinity is raised up to be something more of value, whereas femininity is just something that like this country, this world has like a strong disdain for.
that's right.
But yeah, I think that it's very interesting to experience individuals that want you to be freaky with them at night and whispering all these sweet nothings in your ear and all of that. But After the sexual escapade is up, they don't really want to see a future with you because it's almost like this embarrassment that, I'm with someone that's more feminine when I should be with more of a masculine gay man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, very good. Thank y'all so much for that. So we're coming down to the end, but before we go, I want to give you all a chance to say one last final thought about femboys, your experience, or how you hope to inspire others out there who want to be femboys, who want to kind of take this path as well. Whoever wants to go first.
I, I go. Can I go first?
Yep. Yes, please.
To all, and I must say it with my chest. To all the film boys, the young boys that's in high school, middle school, that's watching this, because I know you watching this. Um, Stop giving a fuck about what a motherfucker got to say. Stop giving a fuck about what you think that you should do to please another motherfucker. Okay, get into your shit. Get into how you want your life to be set up. Start thinking about this shit right now. Because at the end of the day, nobody else ain't gonna motherfucking help you. Everybody, you are not a purse. You are not a purse to the girls. You are not a purse to the other gays. You are not a maid for satisfaction. When I mean made for satisfaction, I don't mean that you got to jump on every DL nigga dick just to feel accomplished or just to feel like you T, because this don't make you T. This just make you not experienced, baby boo. And it's okay to be calm within yourself and to be extra and to be bubblegum pop. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. The world is your motherfucking oyster, and don't let a bitch asshole or a nigga tell you otherwise. Live your life, think about it.
Live your life. Very good. Thank you, Maxwell.
I needed to hear that.
No shade. Who's next?
Yeah, one thing I would say to the femboys out there, being a mean girl is a survival tactic that you utilized at a time when you needed to survive. As you go into the next phase of your life, there's just certain things that you can't take with you. In my opinion, it's not cute. It's not sexy. It's not appealing. And at the end of the day, we need every single iteration of femboys in our community. We need all of us. Obviously, there's this construct of beauty in America, but for me, beauty isn't here. So if you are that friend where everyone's like, "Oh my God, your friend is so attractive," and they're not necessarily saying that about you. In the words of Jill Scott, like, you don't have to be the prettiest in the room. You don't have to be the sexiest in the room. Be in the room. Be the most intelligent. Be
Be
the most
in the
swaggy in the room.
room.
Be the most clever in the room. But just be in the room. Be yourself and never compare yourself, and let go of the mean girl stuff. Please. Because you
Yeah.
cannot take it with you. And a lot of us obviously deal with a lot of we're touched on. So a lot of us absolutely want to be in a relationship. I'm here to tell you right now, being a mean girl, you're not going to attract a mate. And that's all I'm going to say today.
Tuh.
Yes.
Beautiful words. Beautiful words. I'll take that one.
I would love to piggyback off of what Malik said. I feel that a lot of people have this stereotype about, especially like younger feminine men, that they're mean girls and stuff like that, which some of them are for like necessary reasoning. But I'm somebody who has never really, associated myself with the idea or perception or the identity of somebody who is a mean girl. I've always looked at things from like a fair perspective. And I feel that that is something that everybody who is done surviving should snip away, because you're right, Malik, that can't be taken everywhere, and it actually does more damage than it does healing at a certain point in your life. But what I personally want to say to all of the femboys out there, your existence is a threat to a lot of people's self-security. You are going to find in your life a lot of people who are jealous and envious of you for no reason. Most of it is because you're beautiful and you're gorgeous and you're shining, and that disrupts something within them. And half of the time they want to be feminine, but they can't express the femininity, so they take it out on you. Don't take it personal. Just know that you are somebody who plays an important role in this society, and never let anybody tell you that just because you're feminine, you can't do something that a masculine man can do, because we are all male, we are all men, and we can all do the exact same things. Just because I have a wig on and lashes, that don't mean I can't lift the fucking box. Please. We're gonna stop that negative preconceived notion, and we're gonna break the fucking norms, and that's just it. And I love every single femboy that is watching this, and continue to shine, my diamonds.
Yes, beautiful.
You're
Very
welcome.
good. Nova.
Yes, to echo off what Darian said, I also know how to use power tools and have installed different things on the wall with nails and screws. But it's also to say like how everybody else said so far, like we're not a monolith, and I feel like femininity is also like on a spectrum, and to allow ourselves to understand that there is a power within us to be able to feel comfortable within acknowledging that we're feminine and utilizing it to spread out the representation and what it means, the impact to show people that you can still be yourself unapologetically because nobody else should dim your light or to tell you and dictate how you should govern for their comfort or peace because yours is just as valid. And not only that, it's like, you know, life, that's the beauty of life is our differences and always try to
That's right.
shed light and to celebrate that and never to try to assimilate into being like, well, I need to be a mean girl in order to survive or to be a mean girl in order to strive because you can still be a successful femme person in whatever way that looks like without having to dim someone else's light down. And I think we can see that amongst everybody else on the panel, and I thank everybody else for being here and having such a diverse representation of femininity.
Thank you. Very good. And last but not least, Bakuela.
I would say, first of all, you don't have to be the most liked by everybody because, like, you can have your own niche, and having your own niche is also a good way to make some money too. Remember, tax those men because you can always make some money off of them niggas. No shade. Um, Rejection is protection. Rejection is redirection. And also another memo from Rihanna: fake it until you make it. Pretend that you're confident until you feel confident because that's how I do it.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
walk with your shoulder up and your head high because if you look up, you cannot see the haters. And the people who hate are only at the bottom of the ocean, so yeah.
Beautiful.
It's a bit messy, but that's what I had
Okay.
in my brain.
I love that's great. I think that's great advice from all of you. You're all on mute right now, but you can come off mute real quick. And yeah, we can close out. Thank you all so much. This was really great. I'm so grateful I got to do this with y'all. I had the perfect panel. This will be out, I think, in a couple of weeks. I'm going to edit it for YouTube and then make some clips for Instagram. I'll be tagging all of you. If you want me to send it to you or let you have a file to download for yourself, please let me know. I'll have that ready for you. And yeah, any questions, comments, concerns, you let me know. But for now, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank
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 you.
you,
you.
everybody,
Thank
for
you.
You
Thank
all
having
you.
are
me.
all beautiful. It was a
Yes.
pleasure being able to talk with every single one of y'all.
Yes,
Yes.
same
Likewise.
here.
Just want to say to all the film boys in the panel, I'm very proud of you for everything that you're doing. You are being seen even when you feel like that you're the only motherfucker that's in the room and there ain't no motherfucking open holes. Trust and believe me, you gotta look up. That's where the eyes and shit is. So
Okay.
just know, look to the stars to where you see the motherfucking
Yes.
sun and embrace that lightness that you have in your body.
100%.
Beautiful. Yes. Well, I hope y'all all stay in contact, follow each other, and I will see
Yes.
y'all soon. Thank you so much. Bye now.